Hey Pisces, welcome to your November 2018 love reading. It's Raina here. I have my Morgan Greer deck, which is my go-to deck. Just shuffling the cards back here, and then I'll put them in little piles and pick. Sometimes I pick one or two, but I will, it's just what I feel. Is wow, you got a lot of major arcana so far. Whoa. Whoa. Oh my god. Oh my god, can we go for another one? Well, that's fine. Wow. Well, I mean, obviously this is a general reading, but this sure is a lot of important activity. Pretty blown away by this, needless to say. So the heart of the matter is the Magician card. I was just thinking about this card earlier today. I was thinking about the law of attraction because I'm doing tutorials on each of the major arcana cards. So I was kind of preparing in my mind what I was going to talk about. And I've only, as of this recording, I've only done the Fool card, which is the 0 card, and this is number 1. And one of the things I was honing in on was the number 1. You may just assume that the tarot, that the numbers are random, but they're not. They're associated with the energy of numerology. And the same with the houses of the zodiac. You know, you think about the first house in astrology is Aries house, and it connects to the body and the self. Okay, and it's all about independence and self-empowerment. The Magician card, and what this can mean, because Pisces is a feminine energy, is there's a passivity, dependency that is associated with the feminine signs. And by the way, the word passivity doesn't have to have a negative connotation, nor the word dependency. Because you think of independent and dependent. These are two sides of a coin. And then in the middle, we say interdependence. But dependency, a child is dependent on their parent or caregiver. Is that bad? No, that's part of life. So with the Magician, this is you being independent. And for Pisces, this is something that is a kind of a different sort of a vibe. And it's very good because it means that you are taking your life into your own hands for whatever reason when it comes to your relationships. And we can look at this card, which is the foundation card, for why. The 7 of Wands can indicate that you were in a position of defense. This is a card of being in a defensive posture. So this, when I see this for a relationship reading, I think of somebody who is constantly being attacked. Now, hopefully we're not talking about physical, where you have to really protect yourself against anything like that. But even just on the emotional level, where somebody is accusing you of doing things, is criticizing you, and you feel like that sense of wanting to protect yourself from these accusations and these insults and these whatever. Maybe they're not like, very overt, but they're kind of like slight digs. And the point is that you may have had enough. And if that's true, then that's wonderful. You may say, you know what? I don't deserve this. And there may come a boiling point for you at some time. And it's like a turning point. But I'm getting this, it's funny, I'm getting this strong Sagittarius vibe. So if this, because this is associated with Jupiter, it's in the challenge position, and the Temperance card is associated with Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. So yeah, and Sagittarius is a mutable sign like you are, so you guys sometimes hook up. But this person may not be good for you. And they may be, who knows, maybe they're doing something and they're trying to kind of put it on you that you're the problem, because they want to be able to feel okay about what they're doing, justified. So if this is the case, you can feel this sense of, I deserve better. And in that moment, it's like everything opens up for you. I associate the Magician card with the law of attraction. And basically, you don't have to know a whole lot about the law of attraction, just basically that you create your own reality or co-create it. You know, maybe there are elements of things that are beyond your control in this lifetime, but that doesn't mean everything is out of control. And you may have some kind of moment of clarity in November, or maybe this is even before November, where you experience something that is so egregious that even you have to say no more. And then it becomes easy. It no longer is a choice. It's no longer something that you have to agonize over, and you can just do it. And it becomes kind of like a, like there's no choice at all. And it's like, when I get this card, it's like, this is the challenge, and this is the Wheel of Fortune. And it's interesting, I said this connects to Jupiter, and we are having Jupiter go into Sagittarius in November, the month that this reading is taking place. But that wouldn't be a challenge. Let me see if that's going to be in your career sector. So that's going to be a wonderful thing. I think this is related to a lack of alignment. And this could be that maybe you were with somebody that you didn't really have things in common with, and you shouldn't have invested so much time in, but perhaps there were other reasons why you stayed with this person. One thing is that this kind of a tactic that's connected with the Seven of Wands on the other person's part can be simply a way that somebody keeps you in a constant state of defensiveness, where you feel like you have to explain yourself all the time. If somebody says, why do you always do this or that? And you're like, well, it's because this, you know, and you're like trying to curry favor with them and get them to accept you. No, they're not going to. And by the way, you know, I'm a Sagittarian, so I can't imagine a typical Sagittarius person being like that, but you never know, you know. They may have other elements that make them abusive, verbally abusive in some way. And, you know, a narcissist can be any sign. And this, to me, is MO of a narcissist. I was just watching this video about narcissism, and they were talking about how, like, even friends who go, oh, you've got something here, like they're like trying to pick at you, and, you know, like you have something on your face. And, you know, of course a friend would tell you if there's something, you know, if you got food in your teeth or something like that. But if somebody's always doing that, to me, it's like a sign. And they mention that in the video, like they're trying to like make you doubt yourself and stuff. And this is like, you know, having to defend yourself. And that's no good, you know. So I think that some Pisces people are feeling that sense of empowerment about it. And the higher message is temperance. And, you know, it's so funny because temperance is a card that connects with Sagittarius, but also 1 foot in the water and 1 foot on land. I think for Pisces, this could have to do with, you're in the water, which has to do with the spiritual, the psychic. You've got like a very high psychic activity, intuitive talents, gifts, but maybe not when it comes to yourself because of that subjectivity and the emotions, getting caught up in it. But the other thing too is sometimes you need to have that groundedness, that practicality of like looking at even an emotional situation like a relationship and saying, does this really serve me? Is this really going to give me what I need? Or is it just aggravation? Am I just like always feeling like I'm on the defensive? And, how does this serve my life in a positive way, And this is the card that connects to you right now, the Emperor. And, with the Magician, this is really powerful because this is like you are taking control of your life. And by the way, the Temperance card too, it can, if there are any Pisces people who are getting sober, that might be a turning point. Maybe you got sober and then you realized that you were being treated like dirt. And that was your epiphany, you know what I mean? Because it's like it's easy to tolerate something when you're not in the right state of mind. And all of a sudden you're like, I'm not putting up with this crap. Are you kidding me? The Emperor can also connect with Aries. And so there may be an Aries person in your life who is helpful. It can be a friend. It doesn't have to be somebody romantic, but somebody also, I want to say too, the Emperor can connect with a judge. Maybe this is you, part of your self-empowerment. If this is an actual marriage situation that you are going to seek a divorce because, or maybe you're already going through it and it's coming through in November, and that's like the final cutting of the ties between you and a toxic individual. What's coming in is the Hermit, and this is connected to Virgo. But this could simply be you just being by yourself and kind of doing a lot of soul searching. I connect it, it's funny, the Hermit is connected to Virgo, which is the 6th house. I connect this to the 12th house because the 12th house that your sign rules is connected to introspection and solitude. And in order to have introspection, you usually need a great deal of solitude. So maybe that's going to be, I was going to say in the cards for you, pardon the pun, where you want that, where you're really like tuning into your inner light. Very interesting. Look at the star inside of the lantern. I'm going to look at the Hermit card in my book that I checked out from the library called Holistic Tarot. I really recommend it. I've just begun to get into it, and it's very good at explaining some of the symbolism. And this particular deck is faithful to the Rider-Waite deck and the Pamela Coleman illustration. So I'm sure, let me see, let me just see if I can find the Hermit card in my Rider-Waite deck. I'm actually missing a card from it, otherwise I'd be using it right now, because I really do, I keep having to order these Rider-Waite decks because a card keeps, having gone missing from it. So when that happens, I usually think, okay, well, I guess it's time to stop using this for the time being. I think this is a very powerful deck in that sense, because it seems to have a mind of its own. And I wonder if that's the card that's missing from the deck. Boy, that would be weird. I just want to see how it's depicted in the Rider-Waite deck. So please indulge me this. Right now, some people could be like thumbing me down and giving me kind of, you know, being mad that I'm taking up their precious time. Okay, let's look. Oh man, I just got it, and then let's see. It's right here. I just passed it up. I just saw a thing. Here it is. Okay, this is the Rider-Waite version of the Hermit. And I don't think there's any star in there. So, but the star, you know, if you think about the star card itself, it connects with hopefulness and healing and things like that. And I think that with the Hermit, it's like healing, but you're doing it yourself. You're not looking for anybody else to do it for you. You're interested in healing, and you're doing it from a spiritual perspective, you know, knowing that it's an inside job, in other words. The outcome, the Three of Pentacles, and this could indicate some type of relationship with somebody who is possibly an earth sign, and that would be a Taurus, a Virgo. So this is connected to Virgo. Maybe this is a Virgo, your opposite sign, Capricorn. And the other thing too about this is this could be a life partner. This could be somebody you can build a life with. This is the Architect's card, you know, hence showing the person hammering. So again, you know, coming through this cycle of being on the defensive, feeling that you have to explain yourself, and trying to protect your honor, your sense of worthiness against somebody, and leaving that, you know, the Magician, feeling empowered with the Emperor, feeling a sense of being in control of your life again, and introspection. So it's really beautiful to see this. And I think that with all this, you know, 5 out of 7 cards are major arcana cards, a change agent month for you in terms of your love life. But of course, this is just a general reading. So if you'd like a personal reading, the link to my website is below, and it's rainamoonastrology.com. Have an amazing and eventful, maybe, November, Pisces. Bye.